Welcome to my video. Myself I am Ram Mohan Reddy and I am a computer science teacher, and in this video I am going to teach you the HTML. And what is this HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. This is the language used for developing the web pages. So all the web pages you are seeing in the internet, if you open the source code of that and the back you can find the language is this HTML. And the language in the HTML is called some tags. So what is a tag? A tag is something like this, which is written inside the angular braces, and tags are written something inside the angular braces, and generally tags comes in a pair. One is called the starting tag and the other one is the ending tag. The difference between the starting tag and the ending tag is starting tag does not have a slash after the angular brace, but in the coming to this ending tag, it is having an angular brace after this symbol. So almost all the tags in the HTML have the ending tags, but there are only few tags which doesn't have the ending tags. Okay, now I will show you how to create a sample HTML file. So to create a sample HTML file, you have to open the notepad. Open the notepad and you have to type like this: HTML, and these are the main tags of HTML. All HTML document starts with the HTML tag and ends with the HTML tag. And inside the HTML, it is having two subtags. One is the head tag and the other one is the body tag. And this is the structure of HTML document. HTML tag consists of two important tags. One is the head tag and the other one is the body tag. The difference between this head tag and the body tag is if you write anything inside the head tag, that thing will not be displayed on the body of the web page. But if you want to display anything on the body of the web page, you have to write it in between these body tags. Generally, the JavaScript, the CSS documents, everything, all those things will be included in the head tag, and the actual content which you want to display in the web page will be displayed in the body tag. Now I will show you sample thing. Just I am putting a title here. It's my web page title I am giving, and in the body tag just I am displaying it's the body of my web page. So now while saving this, you have to give a extension .html. So here give a name of your choice, something sample, and at the end you have to give .html. The .html notation says that this file is a HTML document, and you open this, it is having some HTML tags. Let's save here. Now how to run this? So to run this file, go to the place where you have saved this file and just right click on this and open with any browser of your choice. See, here what you are observing is the my web page title which you have given in here in the title, and that thing will be displayed in the here, that is called the title, and the thing which you have written in the body which been displayed in the body of the web page. Okay, next I will tell you some more tags about this HTML, some basic tags, and the first tag is paragraph tag. If you want to display the text in the form of paragraphs, we have to use the tag called p tag, something like this, paragraph 1, paragraph 2. So something, the text will be displayed in the form of paragraphs. So the tags in the HTML document also have some attributes, and the use of the attribute is to add some effect to the text. For example, if you want to align the paragraph to left or right, we have an attribute called align. Generally attributes are written after the tag with a space, and you have to write the attribute and you have to give it the value in a double quotes. And for the p tag, it is having an attribute called align. It has the following things: right. If you give align equals to right, the paragraph will be aligned to the right side of the page. And for the align, you have having another one, align equals to center. And the third option for this is left. By default, all the paragraphs will be aligned in the left side of the page. See this, the paragraph 1 is aligned at the right, the paragraph 2 is aligned at the center, and the paragraph 3 is aligned at the left. Okay, that is the use of the attribute align. By using the attribute align, we can put some modification like that, where the paragraph you want to display. If you want to display it in the right side, give an attribute align equals to right, and if you want to display it in the center, give an attribute align equals to center, and if you want to display it in the left, give an attribute align equals to left. For the body tag also, it is having some attributes. If you observe, some pages in some web pages have the background color. So if you want to put some background color to the web page, we have an attribute called bg color, and you have to give some color here. For example, here I am giving yellow. It means give a background color yellow to the body of the web page. That's the meaning of the statement. See, the color of the web page has changed to the yellow color. In the same way, some web page having a background image, that means you can also put some image as the background to the web page. So if you want to put an image as a background, you have to use an attribute called background, and you have to give the image file. I have an image already stored, and my image name image.jpg. Now I am putting this thing as the background to my web page. See this, I am putting that image as the background to my web page. Actually the image size is less, that's why it is repeating here. If you give an image with larger size, then that thing will be displayed without repeating. Just I am removing this. Okay, the next tag is the header tags. Generally something in the web pages we will display some headings, and for displaying the headings we have the tags called h1 heading 1, and we have different heading tags from h1 to h6, and the difference between these tags is, if you use the h1 heading, the font of the heading will be larger, but if you use h2 it will be somewhat less than the h1, and if you use h3 it is more less than the h2. Just see this, just I am using h1. See, this is heading 1. In the same way, you can also use for h2, h3 like that. Just I am showing you h2 heading 2, h3 heading 3, h4 heading 4, h5 heading 5, h6 heading 6. Let's see this. These are the 5 headings from h1 to h6, and just check the output. See, this is the difference between the headings from h1 to h6. If you are giving a h1 heading, the text will be displayed with a bigger font, and if h6 it is with small font. Depending upon our choice, we can use any heading from h1 to h6. And the next we are having some basic tags, and the first one is HR tag. HR stands for horizontal row. It is not having any ending tag, and if you use a HR, it will draw a line. For example, see, Control C. After the paragraphs, I want to draw a line. So for that, I am using a HR tag. Just check the output. See, this is the line which here coming here is because of that HR tag, and that is the use of HR. It stands for in horizontal row. So after HR we have some tags. First one is bold. If you can also display the text, if you want to display the text with bold format, we can use B tag, text with bold. The same way, if you want to display the text with italic, we can use with I. And the third tag, it is U. U stands for underline. There will be an underline below the text. See, you will have the output like this. See this. Text with bold, the thing is displayed in bold format, and the next one is text with italic, it is displayed in italic, and the third one, text with underline, it is having an underline below it. But if you see here, even though I have written the three statements in three different lines, but here what you are getting is you are getting the output all in a single line. Why? Because while running the HTML documents, what the web page, the browser ignores all the white spaces. So even though you are writing in different lines, it does not display it in the different lines. If you want to display line in a separate line, you have to use a tag called BR. BR stands for line break. It just says that from this point display the next thing in a new line. See here, after using the BR tag, we are getting the output in a new line. That is the use of BR tag. And the next tag is strike. Test strike. See, if you want a strike test like this, you can write it in between the tag called strike. Then that have a line in between that. You will get a strike line. And the next one is blink. Text blinking. That means if you want a text blinking text, you can write it in between the tag blink. Sorry. Okay, so the blinking is not working here, but in some browsers it will work. If you want to blink the text, you can write it in between the blinking tag. Okay, just leave it. The next tags. Next tag is image tag. If you want to insert an image in the web page, we have a tag called img, and it has an attribute called src. Inside that, you have to give the image, the location of the image. You have to give the path of the image. So my image is stored inside a file. My image having a file image.jpg. So I'm giving here image.jpg. So that image is displayed here. You can also control the width and height of the image by using another two attributes called width and height. If I give for example width equals to 100 pixels, height equals to 100 pixels. That means the image will be displayed in a box which having only 100 pixel and 100 pixel height. So this is the original image, and after using the width and height, my image will be aligned like this. You can increase the width and height, or you can decrease the width and height by using the properties width and height. And the next one is lists. And then the next topic is lists. Lists are something which having some numbering. And lists are generally two types. One is the ordered list and the other one is the unordered list. If you want to display an ordered list, you have to use a tag OL, and each list item will be displayed using LI. This is called as order list. That means giving a numbering to the items. See here, I have not given any numbering here, but what I am doing is I am saying that start a order list, and I am specifying each and every item by using li tag. So the first item will have a number 1, and the second item will have the number 2, and the third item will have the number 3. For example, if you add another item, by automatically it will have the number 4. The fourth item will have automatically the number 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not only these numbers, you can also use Roman numbers or alphabets for these list items. If you want to use Roman numbers for this, then you have to use an attribute for this OL, and you have to specify type. If you specify A here, that means the list items will have an ordering with small alphabets. A, B, C, D. If you use capital A, it will have the capital alphabets, capital A, capital C. And if you use small I, it means Roman numbers, small Roman numbers. If it is capital I, it is capital Roman numbers. I have given capital I, that's why the list items have the order called capital Roman numbers, capital 1, capital 2, capital 3. So this is called the order list. We are having another list called unordered list. Generally, unordered list does not have any numbering. So before the unordered list items, what it will display is some symbols like circles, like discs, and like squares. See how to create an unordered list. So like ordered list, unordered list can be created by using a tag called UL, and the list items inside the unordered list will be as it is like ordered list. Each list item can be specified using LI. See, only the difference between the ordered list and the unordered list is ordered list starts with OL and the unordered list starts with UL. This is the unordered list. The unordered list does not display any number before this, but before the each and every list item, what it displays is a symbol. If it is an ordered list, it is displaying the numbers, but if it is an unordered list, it is just displaying some circles or some squares. We can also change the shape. For this unordered list also, we are having an attribute called type, and if you use type equals to circle, we will have a circle shape before it. This is called circle, and the previous symbol, it is called disk. You can use it here, disk, for the previous symbol, and let's have another one called square. This is called square. This is about the ordered list and the unordered list. And the next thing is, in some cases in the web pages, we will display the data in the form of tables. So in HTML, we can also create the tables. And to create a table, we have a tag called table tag. Okay, a table is nothing but it contains data in the form of rows and columns. So if you want to create a row in a table, you have to start tr tag. Tr stands for start a row in the table, and each and every cell in the table row can be specified using td. Cell 1. Example, if I want to create a table with 2 rows and 2 columns, so in the first row I am creating 2 cells. First is cell 1 and the other one is cell 2, and after this I am creating another row, again tr, and inside this again I am creating first cell, I am giving a name cell 3, and for the second one again td cell 4. See, I want to create a table, that's why I am writing the starting tag for table, and this is the ending tag for the table. Inside the table I am creating 2 rows. This is the starting of the first row and this is the starting of the second row, and inside the first row what I am doing is I am writing 2 TDs. One TD stands for one cell, so in the first TD I am creating cell 1, and the second TD I am writing cell 2. In the second row again I am creating 2 cells, and the first cell I am creating giving cell 3, and the second one I am giving cell 4. See, this is the table we are getting, the cell 1, cell 2, cell 3 and the cell 4. This is the first row and it is having 2 cell contents. The content of the first cell is cell 1, cell 2, cell 3. But here it is not displaying any border. If you want to display the border to a table, you have to use an attribute called border. If you give border equals to 1, it will have the visible border. By default the border value is 0, that's why it is not visible to us. See this. So now this is the table, it is having some border, cell 1, cell 2, cell 3 and cell 4. And for the table tag there are 2 other important attributes. One is cell padding and the other one is cell spacing. Just see what happens if you give padding to a spacing to the cell. I am giving cell spacing equals to 10. This is the table before giving the cell spacing. Now I will show you the table after giving the cell spacing. Now see, what is the 10? And see here, earlier we are not having any space before the cell and the border of the table, but here it is displaying a border between space between the table border and the table spell, and this is called cell spacing. That means if you want any space from the table border to the actual cell, in that case you have to use the attribute cell spacing. And the next attribute for this is having another attribute called cell padding. Cell padding equals to 10. And check what happens if you give padding equals to 10. See, this is the table before giving cell padding, and this is the table after giving cell padding. See, earlier we cannot find any space between the C and this border and this cell border, but now it is displaying some space between the C and the cell border, and again at the top and the bottom and the right for each and every cell and the content it is displaying some space. How that space it is getting is from the cell padding. So cell padding is nothing but the space between the cell and the cell content. This is the cell border and this is the cell content, and this space is called as cell padding. And it is having another attribute also called as busy color. You can also give some color to the table. So busy color, and if you give something yellow, that means my table will have an yellow color background. Okay, my table will have an yellow color background. See, earlier it is not having any color, but now the table will have a yellow color background now. Okay, not only for that complete table, you can also give a color to a single row. If you want to give a color to a single row in a table, for the tr tag you can use the attribute busy color equals to something color. See. Now only the row of the table having some color pink. If you want a color to only a particular cell, so okay, for the td tag you can also use the busy color attribute. So if you give busy color equals to green, now only for this particular cell it will be displayed in green color. Only the particular cell will be displayed in the green color here. If you want to put anything in the center, you can put it in between the center tags. If you put any element in between the center tag, then that content will be displayed in the center of the web page. See, I am putting the table in the center tag, that means it will be displayed in the center of the page. See, the table has moved to the center. Now not only for the table, you can use the center tag for any type of element in the HTML, and that element will be moved to the center of the page. And next, for example, in some cases we will combine two cells into a single cell. So that for that, for example, in the next row, I want to combine two cells into one single cell. Then how to write that? For that, we have for the td tag we have two things called we have an attribute called colon span. Colon span is used for combining two cells into a single cell. Here I want to combine two cells into a single cell, and I am displaying here combined. See here, you will get the third one combined. How we are getting is by using the attribute colon span. Colon span is used for combining two cells in a row. Not like that. If you want to combine two cells in two different rows, then in that case you have to use another attribute called row span. See, td. I want to form this cell by combining. I want to form this cell by combining two cells in two different rows. That means for that you have to give row span row td. The second one is normal. So another row, and here already I have specified about the first cell. Why? Because already the first cell I am combined with the cell in the above row. So only one cell remaining. I am putting x6. So here it is row span, and this is called the column span. If you use column span, two cells in a row will be combined, and if you use row span, two cells in two different rows will be combined like this. Okay, this is about the tables in HTML, and the next part is links. What is meant by link? In the web pages, you will find some links. That means if you click on that link, it is going to redirect us to some other link. Then how to create that links? Generally, those links are called as hyperlinks. To create a hyperlink, we have a tag called a, and for that it is having an attribute called href, and you have to give the file name, and you have to give the link name and a. That means what I am telling is, here href in the file name, what you have to write actually is where should go if you click on that link. For example, if I want to I have another page, something home.html. What I want is, if anybody clicks on this link, I want to redirect to home.html, and for that link, the name I am displaying is home, like this. Just see this. See here, this is called the link, and generally links are displayed in blue color. Now it is having an underline. This underline means it is not a normal text and it is a link, and if you put your cursor on the link, the cursor will automatically change to a hand. Now I am clicking here. If you click here, automatically the URL has changed to home.html. Actually, the home.html page is not ready. That's why it is not. It is just displaying file not found. But if the content of the home.html is ready, then it will show the content of the home.html. Okay, this is all about the basics of the HTML, and thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.